allow me to adjust my screen. I know you guys can't hear my music. Um, that may be a good thing because I don't like for my video to get interrupted um, when I go to post it later. And usually I would do a recorded video and then I would go back and I would post it on IG TV, and then I post it to my other sites. But the reason for the change, the impromptu, off the fly change for this one is because usually the videos are about books that I want readers to read. The books are usually about the books I've written, of course, and why I feel readers can relate to them, get into them, indulge, um, get a piece of mental soul food. I know y'all can't hear Eric B and Rakim in the back. I got soul. But that's what I'm vibing to on this end over here. Shout out to the beautiful Jessica Desmond. She knows, if she doesn't by now, that this is one of my favorite t-shirts. All right. Um, should have started with the introduction. Nah, I don't need an introduction. Who am I? Marie Antionette. What am I? Above all, mother. In addition to that, author, publisher, and all around literary influencer. And I can crown myself that because I really am all for us reading in general as a whole. It doesn't have to be something I've written. Everybody's not going to dig what I got to put pen to paper. But there's something out there for everyone to dig. And so I like to encourage reading across the board, whether it's my book, his book, her book, a book that was written 50 years ago, a book that somebody's planning on putting out next week. Everybody that puts pen to paper has something that they feel is worth sharing with the world and that they should share. And that's why I'm doing this video today, or this live today, and I'll save it, download it, and then put it on the, YouTube, all that. This one right here is So You Want to Write a Book. And I wrote this with the best intent to effectively and properly lead individuals, not lead so much, but guide them without all of the extra BS, without all of the nonsense. Just give them key points as to how they can move forward with their endeavors, and once they've been bitten by the book bug, how they can keep that fire going. I'm going to wave and speak to people who are joining, but again, this one right here, this live right here is really some input for the writer, for the aspiring writer, for the individual who wants to write a book and they don't know what to do next, how to start, who to trust. They're just uninformed on the process of book writing. And I've been approached by tons of people. I've been approached in person, I've been emailed, I've been messaged. Someone even wrote to me and wanted to send me their manuscript. And so I've been approached by a lot of different people with that same question. How do I write a book? I want to write a book. What do I have to do? Well, let me just do a little focus right here. What I'm about to say, it sounds like an oxymoron, but it's really very simple. And then at the same time, it's not as simple as some may paint the picture for it to be. Number one, you have to just write your book. You have to get it out. Regardless if you're a person who writes all the time or if you just dibble and dabble every now and again. You have to write it. You have to get it out. And I always advise people, the best way to do that is to format it in a chapter outline. Write your main points out. Just something that you were taught probably back in elementary school, 5th and 6th grade. Those type of tips. That's what everyday people who write amazing stories do. They start out with an outline. So start yourself out with your outline and then fill your outline in after that. And that's basically the job of the writer. Beyond that, when people want to know, how do I get my book out? How do I get my book here? How do I do this? How do I do that? That's where the writer themselves has to take some time to study the industry, study the craft, study the tools of the industry, and know first and foremost how they want to proceed with their writing, and then what they're capable of achieving with their writing. And also selecting individuals who can help them achieve what they want to achieve from their piece, from their work, from their writing. And that takes a little bit of homework. Social media is an excellent platform for effective, cost-efficient promotions. Other than that, you have to do the work yourself. You have to let people know you're writing a book. You have to become personable with people and gain their interest in the subject matter of your work. You have to build yourself as a brand and as an individual who is someone who is going to be consistent with the product that they're trying to put out, that they're going to put out, so that people will want to invest in you. There are several little side streets to being successful in writing a book. And there's one key element that everyone, no matter who you are, no matter if you're famous, no matter if no one's ever heard of you, no matter if the person is deceased, or no matter if the person's still here, there's one key element that everyone who wants to write a book has to receive, has to be able to do, has to embrace. And I'm not going to tell you what that is. That's why I wrote the book, so you can purchase it and then you can find it out on your own. But moving on, the other aspects of writing a book that a lot of people, let's say we get to the book part. We write the book, we find the editor, all of that is in here too. Who's going to be your editor? What do you want from your editor? Are you satisfied with the content that you're providing your editor? Because your editor can only edit what you provide them. Your editor can't pull thoughts out of thin air and say, oh, I think that's what they wanted. No, that's borderline ghostwriting. If you didn't pay your editor to ghostwrite and fill in the blanks, then you should not expect that from your editor. Okay? You go into your book cover. Some people may get a package deal where the editor can also do the book cover. Some people have to search for different services. You just need to know what you're paying for. You need to be specific with your file specifications. You need to know what to expect. And I would suggest that you always shop around. You look for examples, you look for samples, and you look for a quality in the product that you expect to receive yourself. After you go through all of that, you've put your book together, your book is together, you get it in print, you have it in your hand. Now what? Who you want to sell it to? Have you built the audience during that time that you were writing your book, that you were getting your book put together? Are you looking to just have your book put on Amazon.com and expect sales to just accumulate out of the blue because that's where it's at? Amazon is a platform. It's not a seller. Amazon is going to sell your book for you. You have to find promotion, marketing, and all of that to send people to Amazon. That applies across the board, whether if your book is on Amazon.com, whether if your book is at Barnes & Nobles, whether if your book is at Walmart. If people don't know it's there, it's not going to sell. And when books don't sell, books don't accumulate royalties. Royalties. That's one of the main questions I've always been asked as a publisher by authors who I used to work with. Where are my royalties? What's up with my royalties? What about my royalties? I sent a friend to Barnes & Nobles, to Amazon, and they brought a book. but I didn't get any royalties off that. You know why? Well, I talk about that in this right here. I talk about budget, and I talk about an acronym that anyone who gets into business should be familiar with. It's called ROI. ROI stands for Return on Investment. If you spend 3, you should expect to see back 6. If that's not how your math is going, something is wrong and you need to go back to the drawing board. So, if you send someone to Amazon for your $17.99 book, and Amazon sells it for, say, around $21, which includes tax, your book printed, say, for about $8 or $9. Amazon pays your printer pays your publisher. You're getting a percentage off of that $8 or $9 that Amazon sent your printer or sent your publisher. And you want your publisher to write you a check for what? $3, $4? But I'm quite sure if you had a publisher like me, they schooled you to the game and they taught you, don't deal with the third party. Go ahead and buy your books directly from your publisher, and then you can always make a flip. You can have a profit, and then you'll also have your money to put back into your next investment of books. Because if you're not investing in yourself, who else can you expect to invest into you? You want social media, use the platform to build yourself. Now, so you want to write a book. I wrote a guide. It's 55 pages. It's clear. It's effective. It's easy to follow. It answers every question that every new author would ask. It also gives you tips and tools that most in the industry who have been successful and who have learned through trial and error won't share with you. So it's 55 pages, but it'll carry you all through A through Z, A through Z, A through Z. And again, the one main jewel in here for all writers is something that as a writer, you must embrace one particular thing. And if you don't, then you simply cannot be an effective writer. One hand washes the other with this right here. And again, I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But you could get this at causeandelevation.com for $9.99 plus your shipping. Again, it's the easy to follow guide. It lets you know everything about writing a book, from I want to write a book, the process, from formats, editors, book covers, your budget, printers, retailers, retail sales, ISBNs, what you need to know about the industry, the ins and outs, LLCs, websites. Please, if you're going to write yourself a book, if you want to write a book, if you want to sell a book, please get yourself a website. Pay for a website. $10.99, $9.99, $22.99, whatever. Go to GoDaddy, go to Homestead, go someplace and build yourself a website. Stop using social media as your sole platform to market yourself. Social media is going to limit you or want you to pay to market yourself. You can do that all on your own. Generate your sales directly to you, through you. Cut out as many middlemans, as many middle hands as you can. I covered that. Please don't envy anybody else in the industry. Don't envy their pictures. Don't envy their photo shoots, because everything that glitter isn't gold. You should know that by now. We should all know that by now. Admiring someone's work, admiring someone's talent. Yes, yes, yes. There are plenty in the industry who I admire. But I've been approached by people who had a little bit too much, I would say, covet towards a particular name or a particular look or a particular image. And again, I'm just going to say everything that glitters isn't gold. I've been in the company of names that are renowned and will be legendary long after we're gone, and they treated me like royalty. And I've been in the company of names and people who were cut from the same cloth as me, and they treated me like a doormat. So in the industry, know that your work is just as good as anyone else's. They may have more of a money backing to present themselves in a different way, in a more glamorous aspect, but that's not a that shouldn't be something that you measure your works on, or something that you compare yourself to. So, also, through your website, you can plug it into your social media website and build your audience. Build your audience. Build your audience for your book on all of your platforms. I don't care if you're on LinkedIn. I don't care if you're on Facebook. I don't care if you're on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. Build your audience and always, always, always keep your book alive. My very first book, A Girl Named Job, I penned that and I released that in 2007. 14 years later, that book still sells like I dropped it yesterday. And it is by far, next to probably We Didn't Know, one of my best-selling titles, because you always have to plug yourself, plug your book in. Plug yourself, plug your book in. Invest in yourself. Writing the book is just one half of it. Keeping it alive, making sure it's written well, making sure it's properly produced, making sure you keep it alive in the ears, in on the platforms of readers. That's your duty. That's not your publisher's duty. That may be your marketing, person's duty, or your promotion person's duty, but nobody's going to plug you in like you're going to plug yourself in. Nobody's going to push harder for you to get your dollar than you. So, on that note, for those who want to know how to write a book, here's a quick, complete, comprehensive 55-page guide. It's available at causingelevation.com, www.causingelevation. I ship it out as soon as I get the order, and it's going to put you on point if you have any questions. I spent about 2 years in plenty of late nights reading different manuals and different how-tos on writing. And what I learned was that no one can teach you how to write. That was a gift that was bestowed upon me by the universe, and nobody could teach me how to do that. I needed to learn the business aspect. But this book doesn't just teach you the business aspect. It teaches you the aspects which revolve around your work, your writing, how you need to present it, and how you keep it alive, so you don't become discouraged when you have slow moments, because every industry has slow moments. The literary industry has slow moments, and it has peak moments. You have to be able to take advantage of all of those moments. And I've had the absolute pleasure of working with a lot of talented individuals who, all of them, every last one of them, wrote amazing books. I worked with someone who wrote a street lit book. It had me hooked. I worked with people who have told memoirs, who I was just like, wow, and I wish those books were still alive, but that's why I wrote this right here. Again, I got to keep, shooting you with that jab to let you know, if you want to write a book, you need to know A through Z what it takes to keep that book alive, and know that the only person that's going to root for that book the way it needs to be rooted for is you. So get this book so it can help you with your book. All right? Marie Antionette, causingelevation.com. I'll holler at you later, okay? Peace.